Hello and welcome to Culture Shark, a live stream about all things pop culture. I'm Final Monkey.
And I'm Caleb.
I had someone message me right when the stream was starting and I got confused. We are the Culture Sharks. We review classic movies and TV shows and we read comic books. Today, we are looking at the upcoming attractions, the rest of the movies coming out for the rest of 2025. There may be some movies we don't know about yet or we haven't seen trailers yet for. So these are
There,
the ones that interest us so far.
yeah. There was one. So we went to go see Ballerina on Friday because it came out on Friday. And there was a trailer that I thought about putting on there, but like, there's really not a whole lot to go off of.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen this trailer for this Keanu Reeves movie with Aziz Ansari
I
about like
have.
the guardian angel?
Yeah, it was strange.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is something. There's not a whole lot to talk about. In fact, what we just did is about the extent of what we have information about.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, so I did put it on my list. So
Yeah. But yeah, I always like doing these because uh it 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 gets me hyped for like because I'll look at like so here's the thing. I am not as connected to the um I don't know. I don't have my ear to the ground as closely as you do anymore. I used to, but not as much anymore. So a lot of times, this is how I find out what movies are coming out within the next 6 months because we're gonna do this show and I got to look up to see which ones kind of interest me. So I was like doing these because like it gets me hyped for movies that I didn't even know were coming out, and then it also helps me plan out the show for the next 6 months because I know what is coming out and what we can capitalize on.
yeah, about once a week, I'll go on IGN movie trailers and just see what trailers have dropped. Um, and I try to watch all of them just to see because you never know when you're gonna some of a weird title is actually gonna be a cool movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. There are a couple that were just recently came out. So like Phoenician Scheme, we went ahead and dropped off the list. That's a new Wes
Yeah.
Anderson movie.
Ballerina, like I said, that just came out.
Yeah,
That was on our list. And then I think Killer of Killers is out now, so I took that off the list.
yeah, they're
Uh,
both out.
so those were the three main ones that I could think of. But yeah, those are already out, so
Yep,
they're not coming attractions.
yep. So let's go ahead and jump into our list. First up, we got the live action How to Train Your Dragon. I am not, surprisingly, not a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. My children are, at least my oldest definitely is.
I
Um,
I've never seen it.
I
uh,
kind of saw it once, and I remember it being good, but it's one of those movies I need to kind of revisit. It is from the creators of Lilo and Stitch, so that is probably why I would enjoy it. But I've definitely heard the first movie is fantastic, so
mhm.
it's just something I just need to watch again when I'm not distracted.
Yeah, I've had so many um I've had so many people talk to me about this that are kind of around my age, a little bit younger. I'm 28. I got some friends that are my age. I got some friends that are kind of in the 24, 25 range. Um, and so I'll be like, yeah, I never saw it. They're like, what? You never saw it? I'm like, yeah, like this. I don't know. It never happened. Uh,
Have you seen the animatronics they have of the dragons at Universal now?
no,
They are really cool.
really. Okay, cool.
Like the meet and greet ones that walk around and you can. I don't know if you're allowed to touch them, but they are really cool.
I gotta be honest. Whenever you said that, I thought that like Cause I'm so used to like you talking about Disney World and how bad it's gotten. I thought you were about to crap on the animatronics, but yeah, okay, really cool. Um, I do want to go to Universal at some point. The weirdest thing, um, every there's so I've been to Disney World twice in my life, and part of me, wants to go to Universal, but keep in mind, Universal is not my jam. Like I've never seen How to Train Your Dragon. I'm not huge into Harry Potter. Like I've seen all of them, but I'm not huge into Harry Potter. I am. Oh, that is amazing. That's not a CG. I think that's a real thing.
Oh, that's the animatronic.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Disney's in a lot of trouble.
Uh,
Between this and Nintendo Land and everything, yeah, Disney is in a lot of trouble.
that's awesome. But yeah, like I'm not a Jurassic Park person either. Like the only thing that like really is my jam at Universal is Nintendo. But the thing is well, and also the Universal Monsters. Uh, but the thing is hey, what's up, Jonathan? Uh, our Universal, just first of all, their marketing is great and word of mouth is infectious. So it's one of those things where like I have no interest in any of these properties, but man, people say that this place is really cool.
Yeah, it's on my list. I can't see myself going back to Disney, especially now that they've shut down my favorite attraction, Muppet Vision 3D,
Okay,
which
so
I just cannot forgive them for.
here's the thing. Because I saw your post earlier today about the Spirit Halloween thing, and it is really funny. It is really funny. Here's the thing. As someone who has experienced that ride or that attraction recently, I get why it closed down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, it is a old attraction that needs to be updated. I agree, but don't tear it down. Update it.
Yeah, yeah, I got
It
yeah.
was the last thing that Jim Henson ever worked on. I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So, but
Uh,
anyhow,
but yeah, well, so yeah. As far as the How to Train Your Dragon live action film, like I said, like I just went over it, like this is not a property that super interests me, and so the live action film uh doesn't really interest me either. Like this might be something that I see if like a group of friends are going and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go see this. You want to go?" I might go see it, but this
this
was not my childhood.
this might be one of those ones sleeper movies that makes $1 billion out of nowhere. You know, when no one's talking about, that just all of a sudden does crazy numbers.
So here's the thing. We said the same thing about Lilo and Stitch.
And Lilo Stitch, Disney screwed that up. If they had not screwed up that movie, it would be making $1 billion. If they had not changed the ending, um,
Or
uh,
the villain.
or the villain, that should have been $1 billion movie. Like after I heard the changes, we decided we weren't going, and we were planning
Yeah.
to go see it. So I think I would assume I'm not alone in that. That there were other people who were like, "No, we're good." So I don't know. I know a lot of people love this series, and I
Oh, oh, you know what? You know what? What is it? Ohana means giving your family to the government so you can go to
yeah,
college.
Ohana is giving your children to the state. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. Uh, my favorite where it says Ohana meets Jack Crap. It's got Dottie just launching Lilo into the air. Oh, all right. What's the next movie on our list?
Let's see. This one, I'm so excited for this. Um, so are you familiar with this at all?
Other than the trailers and that Stephen King, I know nothing other than everybody's like, "This is the greatest movie." It's like a modern day. Someone described it as a modern day Wonderful Life, which I'm not assuming it's the same plot as Wonderful Life, but that type of feeling you
I could
get.
see that. Yeah. So I'm familiar with the source material. I'm also familiar with who wrote the adaptation and who is directing it. It is Mike Flanagan, and I would say that for Culture Shark, I am resident horror movie buff. In fact, fun thing, me and my dad did this horror movie quiz thing on YouTube because like my dad's my dad kind of has is like Gen X. He's got Gen X energy, so like he'll watch those videos on YouTube that are like, uh, you know, guess the movie from the still.
Yeah, my
Uh,
wife watches those. Yeah.
so I did that with him for horror movies, and like I got more than he did at this point, and
Wow.
yeah, and he's the one who introduced me to horror movies. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's actually something knowing your dad.
yeah, so um, Mike Flanagan is kind of Stephen King's chosen one, if you will. Uh, Anytime they come out with a Stephen King adaptation, for the most part, with some exceptions, I just want Mike Flanagan to do it. Mike Flanagan, I want him to do the Dark Tower. I want him to do. I want him to do Eyes of the Dragon, and I want him to do Mr. Mercedes. Like Mike Flanagan is the best. He's got all this stuff on Netflix that's amazing too. He did Doctor Sleep, which
I was about to say, I wonder if he'll do like a remake of The Shining at some point.
he did. I mean, Doctor. So the way he did Doctor Sleep actually was interesting because I don't know if you're aware of this. So famously, uh, Stephen King hates The Shining
Right.
movie because he said, and I agree with them, because he says that Kubrick didn't understand what he was going for, and Kubrick definitely. I don't know if he didn't understand it. It's either he didn't understand it or he didn't care.
I think he had something else in mind and didn't care.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, and either way, I don't like that. Um, so what Mike did for Doctor Sleep was he adapted the main plot points of his book Doctor Sleep, but it was also kind of a remake of The Shining, or an adaptation of The Shining, the book. Like they completely changed. They completely changed the ending for the Doctor Sleep movie because at the end of The Shining, the Overlook gets destroyed. Um, so it's not there anymore, and so that's not. The Overlook is not involved in Doctor Sleep at all. Well, at the end of Kubrick's The Shining, it's still standing. So using that as a template, they basically did the finale of the Shining book right with Doctor Sleep. So in a way, Mike Flanagan actually has done a Shining with Doctor Sleep, and I think it's one of his best movies. He's also done Hush and Oculus. Mike Flanagan is the horror movie. He is the premier horror movie writer and director right now. Now, I'm not saying The Life of Chuck is a horror movie,
No.
but like he and Stephen King are really good friends. He understands what Stephen is going for more than more than other people, because I think famously Stephen King adaptations have kind of been bad. um, but Mike gets it, and Mike gets movies.
Yeah.
So I'm super super hyped for this.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about this, so it's
Yeah.
definitely on my radar.
Yeah, and Tom Hiddleston is just I. It's really funny. It's like we're at the point where like, man, I'm really glad that they're getting away from Marvel. This person deserves so much more.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see what's next on our list.
Oh man, so here's the thing. Um, this is not by intention. This is a collaborative list, okay? We both
Mhm.
came up with this list. There are just a lot of horror movies that are coming out this year.
Yeah, and I have never seen any of these films. I famously do not like scary movies, although that's slowly changing. I'm finding myself watching more and more. Um, I usually just read the plots on Wikipedia. These trailers are nuts.
Yes.
The creepy British lady speaking in code or whatever she's saying over the radio and everything. It's
hmm
wild.
Yes, I am. We actually, so we saw the trailer for this at the Ballerina as well. We saw a new trailer for this at Ballerina, and this looks amazing. And I'm glad that that these movies are kind of getting a resurgence in interest and the recognition, because I remember as a kid, I didn't watch them as a kid. I watched them in my teen years, but as a kid, 28 Days and well, let me rephrase that. 28 Days Later. There's a romantic comedy with Sandra Bullock called 28 Days. um, but 28 Days Later and then 28 Weeks Later, especially, I just remember people making fun of them, talking about how bad they are, blah blah blah. I always liked them, when I grew up and as a teenager and started watching them, and so now people are watching those two, and now we're getting 28 years later. Like, people are just appreciating good horror now. Um,
Yeah. The
I
closest I've gotten to the first movie is Community spoofing it when they end up in his car during the paintball thing.
yeah, it's great. It's great. It's I think one reason that I've gotten super into horror. I got into horror movies like hardcore with COVID, um, and then uh, I I would wager, because you said that you're kind of turning a new leaf. You're coming around to it. Um, hey, don't joke about it. It's coming. You know it. I'm ready for it. At 20, dude, there's gonna be like a sci-fi version 28 centuries later. It's gonna be amazing. Um, but so we try not to complain about it as much, because we're a broken record and we're sick of complaining about but like Hollywood has kind of gone down the crapshoot as far as like man, uh these movies suck. They're trying to tell uh they have like these weird messages in their movie, like Lilo and Stitch, like Star Wars or Marvel. I think horror movies have been pretty immune to that so far. You know what I mean?
I think that so many horror films are cranked out that we don't notice the bad ones as much anymore because there's so many good ones coming out.
Also
And
true.
and horror films can be made for cheap, so you get more independent people making them, and it's not the studios don't pay as much attention to them. I guess is the best way to say it.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I mean, Alex Garland is coming up as a director, but he actually wrote the original 28 Days and 28 Weeks Later.
mhm.
He actually was doing the rendition of Halo for Neil Blomkamp before that got scrapped as well. Um, but he's done Annihilation. He did that movie Civil War, and then I think his most recent one is Warfare that just came out as well. Um, but yeah, I mean, this is Alex Garland's baby, and so I think he'd do this for free, honestly.
Right, right.
So
All
yeah,
right.
I'm super excited. All right. I think, did you put this one on the list or did I?
You did because I didn't even watch a trailer for this till last night. Last night was
Okay.
the first time I'd seen the trailer for this.
Okay. What do you think?
I I help babysit a kid every day, almost every day, who's obsessed with Cars, the movie. So I did get a lot of Cars vibes from this, but yeah, this looks really good. Um, I'm starting to be more of a Brad Pitt fan. He was someone who was never on my radar until the last couple of years when we've watched 12 Monkeys and
Bullet Train.
Bullet Train, yeah, and Deadpool 2, and
hmm Oh, Vanisher.
Yeah, bravo! What a performance. Uh,
um, so this is one that I'm really excited for, but I also keep forgetting who the director is because I'm like, man, I know it's a famous like director who's like done a bunch of good stuff, and he's the one who did Top Gun Maverick. But I keep thinking that I'm like, oh yeah, is that the one by James Mangold? No, that's Ford v Ferrari. um, but actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make a confession. I recognize that it is one of the movies that helped Hollywood transition from out of COVID, and I know that people say it's one of the greatest films of all time. I still have never seen Top Gun Maverick.
I've never seen either of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be a Culture Shark episode in the future.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but this feels like an underdog or maybe a washed up sports athlete type movie, and those usually are a lot of fun to watch. So
Yeah, I do think that it's funny that they just called this F1 the movie. That's like if they were to call like a basketball movie NBA the movie.
a movie, Transformers movie, but yeah, it's NBA the movie or
NBA the movie.
7-Eleven the movie.
NHL the movie. But yeah, this I agree with you. So I've always been more of a Brad Pitt guy, just because I grew up watching like the Ocean's movies, so I've always liked Brad Pitt. But I am definitely. I remember there was a point whenever people were sick of Brad Pitt because he was just a pretty boy who was everywhere, and people would like, he's not even that good of an actor. Yeah, he is. That's Tyler Durden, and I'm glad he's getting his due in his. I mean, believe it or not, these are his golden years.
12 Monkeys really changed my mind about him.
Okay, nice.
He was a tour de force in that.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Another horror. So okay. So this is one that I want to talk about, not because I'm excited for it, because I'm pissed off about it.
I'm just confused by it.
Did you see Megan?
I have not seen Megan. I've read enough and seen enough clips. I feel like I've seen Megan.
Gotcha. Understood. This does not look like the same franchise. This looks like okay. So Megan's a horror movie. I don't know what this is.
It reminds me of the sequel to Happy Death Day, where all of a sudden tonally it just shifted to something totally different. Which I enjoyed Happy Death Day too, but it's a very different movie from the first one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This feels like a. I mean, I already saw Ballerina. Like.
Yeah.
This definitely just feels like an action movie for some reason.
It feels like like a sci-fi, not quite Terminator, but we're getting there type movie. You know
what? Maybe they're going for a T2. Maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. Maybe that's what people thought whenever they saw the T2 trailer. They're like, "What? Arnold is not the good guy. Why is he the good guy? That doesn't make any sense."
Also, kind of reminds me of the sequel for Gremlins 2, where they begged the I can't think of the guy's name now, Joe Dante. They begged him to come back and do another Gremlins. He's like, no, we told a story. It's over. It's done. Like, no, we need new Gremlins. He goes, okay, I want full creative control. And they said, okay. And he just threw everything at the wall. That's what this feels like. Like Megan was a surprise hit. And they're like, okay, if you want me to make the sequel, you just let me just throw everything at the wall.
So we're going to get a Key and Peele sketch in about 20 years about Megan 2.0.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Jonathan. I'd be with you about M3 but the thing is, it wasn't called the Threequalizer, and I was really upset. Okay, I wanted the Threequalizer. All right. Let's
let's go back real quick.
Yeah.
Like it almost starts like into like a Lasertron Ender's Game type movie.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
And some people seem excited, and others are like, "What the?" So I don't know.
Well,
I don't
I
know
mean,
how
like,
this is gonna
I
be
mean, the original
performed.
Megan was kind of like a mix between Ex Machina and Child's Play. This
Mhm.
is like if Child's Play 2 was a superhero movie.
Yeah, yeah. And
So,
now Chucky's the good guy.
all
All right.
right, well, it's time. We gotta talk about it.
I don't
Um,
care what people say. I'm still hyped for this movie.
Here's the thing. I don't know who it is online that's doing all the talking. Every time I talk to someone in person, in real life, when I'm touching grass, everyone's excited for this movie. I don't know who's online talking crap about this movie. This looks amazing.
A lot of people are trash talking James Gunn and stuff, and I'm like, James Gunn, even when his movies are not good, you still talk about them, like Brightburn and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
they
Well, and
still
Brightburn technically wasn't even his.
right, right.
um, uh,
But yeah, it. I don't think people realize or they've forgotten how much of a cultural touchstone Superman is. Like it's a big deal when a Superman movie comes out, and just because I think Man of Steel kind of it did for me. It kind of ruined the brand. So I think this is a return to form. Is there
I
some stuff in the
think
trailer I don't like? Maybe like when the girl is doing the selfie, but have you watched Superman 3 or Superman lately? There's a lot of silly stuff in those movies.
um, yeah, like so here's the thing. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be like the I'm gonna be mean about this, okay?
Mhm.
I genuinely think that people who are upset about this are still the people who thought that Snyder did a good job.
There is that. I do think the advertising has been poor for these movies. I think the marketing has not been what it should be. Um, and then there's this complaint where there's too much going on in this movie. Uh, yes and no. Have you watched the Guardians of the Galaxy movie? There's a lot going on in those
Yeah,
movies. I think it'll
yeah,
be fine. I think in the trailer it's a lot going on. I think in the movie it'll make sense.
yeah. If anything, like I think that they're putting like I don't know what the team is. I'm just gonna call them the Justice Society because it
I
makes
think they're
sense
called
to
like
me.
the Justice Gang or it's some weird stupid name because I don't think the league's been formed yet.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, I don't. I know that they have their own they all have their own character posters and everything. Um, I don't think they're gonna have a huge presence. I would guarantee that everything we've seen of them is might be the most of it. Keep
I
in
feel like
mind.
maybe like 30, maybe 45 minutes of the movie they may be in, but I just
Oh, I'm
yeah
not even thinking that much.
well I the movie does show a lot of people imprisoned, so I think they're going to get captured. I would assume as an alien
Yeah,
threat or whatever. So
yeah. And keep in mind, we still don't know what this movie is about. you know, I mean,
yeah,
it's weird to think about. We don't actually know what this movie like.
I,
We don't know what the premise
I
is.
have some ideas, but yeah, they have
Like,
not really said in
yeah,
the trailers.
yeah. The trailers don't really tell us a whole lot. Like, we have Ultraman looking like Black Noir uh from the boys. For some reason. So that's interesting. Um, Lex Luthor is doing a lot of walking around um, in offices and whatnot. And the premise says that he's just trying to reconcile his Kryptonian heritage with being raised on Earth, which is the vaguest premise possible.
It's every Superman movie. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
yeah.
like, I mean, that's the thing. Whenever it comes to, like, this seems like a whole lot going on in this movie, maybe, but at the same time, we don't even know what this movie's about.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining. I like it that way.
I think this is the biggest movie of the summer. I think Jurassic will do okay, but the Jurassic trailers don't look that great. The dinosaurs are all like hybrids and stuff, and
Well,
it just feels off.
now that where's it at?
Did you not put it in there?
I thought I did.
Okay, well, just
Oh,
pretend like this is a
yeah,
dinosaur.
yeah. Pretend that the dinosaur is played by David Cornsweet. Um, so here's the thing I've seen the first 3 Jurassic Park movies. I've actually never seen Jurassic World onwards. I don't know, it's just not my thing. And so, as far as like a real opinion on the trailers, I would defer to you because to me, that movie looks like every Jurassic World movie has looked like the first Jurassic Park to me. They all look like the
So,
same movie.
I am also not a huge Jurassic fan. My son is, but I think the first Jurassic Park is a masterpiece, and after that, they're all kind of derivative.
Well, no, I like Lost World because of how stupid it is.
Oh gosh, um, I still want to know how the T-Rex locked up in the cargo killed everybody on the ship. But anyhow, um, Jurassic World is okay. I did not see the second one, and then the third one was so stupid about the giant grasshoppers and stuff. And the promise that movie had that, oh wow, we're gonna get dinosaurs running loose everywhere, and then it was just kind of like a 2-minute clip at the beginning of the movie, like the world has learned to adjust to dinosaurs. It shows like a school bus stopping so the Triceratops could cross the street and stuff. That's just like,
What?
that's so stupid.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Here's the thing. And Jonathan, I agree because I do think that the rest of the world has lower standards than I do. Um, but wait, hold on. So I actually like I said, I don't know anything about Jurassic World onward. So like the dinosaurs are a part of everyday life now.
That was my understanding. 'Cause I think they all got set loose at the end of Jurassic World 2, and then Jurassic World 3, it's like, yeah, the world's just kind of dealing with it. And I was like, what?
Okay. Okay.
And now,
Fine.
but now the big problem is the grasshoppers that they've genetically tampered with are eating up all the crops or something. It's such a weird movie.
Yeah.
I did not care for Jurassic World 3.
Hmm.
So I'm wondering if that one. I mean, I know that one did crazy good at the box office, but I'm also wondering if people are kind of like, okay, time to take a break.
So here's what it really comes down to. Because the first 3 Jurassic World movies were like Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah,
So
the Jurassic World movies, yes,
yeah,
yes.
and so Chris Pratt, like I think at least up until the third one, I think people were down with Chris Pratt. I think that now people are kind of sick of him.
Well, Jurassic World 3 also had the original Jurassic Park cast in it, so like
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum and stuff. So that now they don't have that. Now they don't even have Chris Pratt. Now it's ScarJo's the main character.
So how does so I think it's like, do people like Black Widow or do people like her?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know how her solo films do money wise. You know, Black Widow's an anomaly because it came out during COVID. You can't really say anything about the box office there, but I don't know if she's a big box office draw or not. I don't know. And with you not having traditional dinosaurs, I don't know. This was a big question mark for me. And the
Yeah.
trailers have not looked that great.
I'm looking at like her movies and like it's I mean Lucy and um Ghost in the Shell and Black Widow. Man, I think she is a good supporting actress, man.
Oh yeah, she's a great actress. I just don't think she's a box office draw.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
all right, let's get this dinosaur off the screen.
It is time to talk about it.
Every week, I learn something else about this movie. It makes me want to see it less and less. Every single week.
Everything that I've heard about this movie, everything I've seen about this movie has been against my will.
And you heard me on this very live stream. I was hyped for this movie. I was so hyped for this movie, and now I don't know if I'm going to go see it. Yeah, I
No,
know I know he's just playing a
no,
character on here. He's
no,
really secretly, quietly.
no, no,
He's got his
no.
his pillow of Pedro Pascal that he hugs every night. That he's ready.
Well, I do, but it's not of Reed Richards. It's of Maxwell Lord from Wonder Woman. um, oh man, I don't know. I just,
Did you see yesterday? They confirmed that this woman will be the leader of the team.
I mean, like they talked about that like from the beginning. Not from the beginning, but like I mean, we heard about that like 4 months ago, so like that doesn't surprise me.
And to be fair, she has been the leader of the team in the comic books. Whenever Reed is not there, she has been
Yeah.
the leader.
Well, and to be fair, it really does look like the Pedro Pascal is phoning it in, and it does look like the Vanessa Kirby is trying her hardest. So it tracks.
And have you heard the interviews with Vanessa Kirby? Like she's like super smart, like scary smart. And then they interview Pedro Pascal, and he's like, "Durr." He's just an idiot.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely. And here's the thing, that could be them like doing a bit or something. I don't think so.
No, it's not a bit.
No, I definitely believe Vanessa Kirby being really smart. She seems like someone who's really smart. But yeah, Pedro Pascal is kind of going down that Chris Pratt hole. Oh man, I wonder how Last of Us season 2 is going to affect the box office.
Yeah,
People hate, and I know a part of the reason that people hated that is because he wasn't in the majority of it. But like, I mean, his name was attached to it.
So here's the article I was talking about. Empire Magazine. Vanessa Kirby says, "I'm such a Sue nerd. I think I out nerded everyone in that room." And then she says, "I got so into quantum physics. It's sad how much I got into it. I could waffle on about cellular vibration frequency." So yeah,
I mean, I respect it. I respect it.
yeah.
Um,
And then you got
but
Pedro Pascal going, "I don't know a whole lot. I'm not smart, but shut up." It's just
but well, and then there's also the fact that like what did he post? Like Vanessa Kirby announced her like real life pregnancy, and then Pedro Pascal posted something weird.
yeah, about how much he loves his mama or something.
Yeah, yeah. It was.
Yeah, so now everybody thinks that he might be the father. Yeah, yeah. It's some weird stuff going on, and
So this is interesting because I do agree. Brave New World, not good. Ironheart, I don't think anyone's gonna watch it. Thunderbolts was good. I know a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people went to watch it comparatively to like, but like comparatively to Marvel movies, not a whole lot of people watched it. But I mean, it was good. It was received well. So going by strictly this, I think we got a coin flip here because we've got a movie that people did go see and it sucked. We have a movie that people didn't go see and it was good, and then we have a show that no one's going to watch and there's no marketing.
I don't think anybody knows Ironheart exists. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, this movie, from what I've seen, is actually tracking very well, like 135 million opening or something.
Okay.
Which is decent for a modern Marvel movie, although historically Marvel movies fall off a cliff after the first or second week. And it's weird. We were talking about Superman. Everybody online hating on Superman, but you talk to people in real life, and they're like, ugh. And then I've kind of heard the opposite things before. Like people online are like, oh yeah, that looked pretty cool. And then I talk to people in real life, and they're like, ugh. So I don't know.
Yeah. With the test screenings, it's hard to go by. I would say that the Brave New World test screenings are an anomaly. Because typically with like Disney doing test screenings, they kind of have like their own people do the test screenings, and so like if you work for Disney, um, yes, it was great, sir.
Well,
Um,
this was actually one of the rare times they had other people other than Disney people seeing it.
okay,
So
gotcha,
yeah, yeah.
gotcha. Um, but yeah,
So
I just
I
remember,
don't know. I and they're like really pushing Robbie the Robot, and I'm like, most people don't even know who Robbie the Robot
yeah.
is.
I had
Okay.
so he got bigger over the course of a couple months because he was the main MacGuffin in the Midtown map for Marvel Rivals. Oh wait, I'm thinking Herbie, not what?
Oh, what did I said wrong. I probably said the wrong name. Herbie.
Yeah,
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 thank you, Herbie. See, I don't even know his name, and I was around when the old cartoon was around there too.
yeah.
So
But I mean, yeah, this will be a movie that I see just because. I mean, at this point, I think at this point, like I go see movies because my mom will call me and Cameron and be like, "Hey, we're gonna go see Mission Impossible on Tuesday. You want to come? Sure." So I think like honestly, I think the only movie that I've paid to see this year is Sinners, um, and Revenge of the Sith. So yeah, I'll probably still see this. The complaint from those test screenings, uh, it's the weirdest thing because even the positive reactions to the test screenings don't make sense to me because they say that the biggest problem is the lack of character development with the Fantastic Four, and I'm like, is what like?
yeah, to me, Thing should be the biggest star of this movie, and Thing should be hugely popular after this movie if you do it right.
Yeah, what
And I'm
and
not getting that vibe at all.
well, and that has to be a writing thing because Edmund Moss Bachrach is a phenomenal actor. He's great in The Bear. That has to be a writing issue.
Yeah. So before we move on, Vanessa Kirby was asked to describe each of the characters with 4 words. Some of these she used more than 4 words, but whatever. So Sue Storm, she said loving, strong, badass, and soulful. Reed Richards, sexy, hot, genius, and special.
Special.
I think if you take out the word genius, she's just describing Pedro Pascal. Sexy, hot, special.
Mm.
Johnny Storm, naughty, funny, cool, well dressed, and gorgeous. Ben Grimm, gentle giant, deep, wry, and brotherly. So that was according to Vanessa Kirby.
So here's the thing. I, I'm down with 3 of those characters, which makes me think that this movie is going to completely eviscerate the character of Reed Richards.
Well, and I've heard rumors that Reed was supposed to be like, the big main protagonist in Secret Wars, and I'm hearing that they might be changing it to Star Lord instead.
Which I don't like. Of course, the big comic rivalry, the famous comic rivalry, is Star Lord versus Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's
What a train wreck. All
yeah,
right.
a,
So
a,
this
tra-
this could be.
a train wreck that somehow could still
I
stick
was
on
gonna
the
say
tracks.
this
I don't
could
get it.
actually be great. I'm gonna kind of wait and see reactions and then decide if I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that right
it's one of those things where like, so I initially am not excited for this because I just in general don't like the Fantastic Four, and then I'm not excited for it because of everything that I've heard about it, and now with everything I've heard about it, I'm like, I don't know what to think about this movie.
And we didn't bring up female Silver Surfer, so
I mean, I don't care. I don't care. I'm numb to that.
all right, moving on.
Why is this on here?
So this is what the third Smurf movie I want to say.
Something like that, yeah.
The first two they have not gotten right, like
Which,
at least to
which,
me.
first of
Yep.
all, it was hard to find the poster for this one because this is 3 movies that are just called Smurfs.
Yeah. Uh, so why is this on the list? The animation and the characters look fantastic. And then they open their mouths. It's like, and it's Rihanna Smurfette. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It, it's great until they start talking and dancing and everything. And it's like, oh, you were so close to getting the Smurf movie right finally, and you once again screwed it up. You were you were right there. And if you weren't alive in the 80s, you do not know how big the Smurfs were at one time.
No, I don't. I don't. I compare to me the Smurfs and the Snorks are the same thing.
Well, yeah, the Snorks were their attempt to cash in on Smurfs. They're like, oh, Hanna-Barbera's like, oh, Smurfs was such a hit for us. How can we, you know, which they've had history doing, like, Scooby Doo's a hit, so we're gonna make 2,000 cartoons about teenagers and a talking animal that solve crimes. So yes, that should be the tagline there. We found love in a Smurfless place. But yeah, like Gargamel, everything looked great, and their big selling place, Rihanna, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Who sounds nothing like the classic Smurfette. So, all right, moving on.
All right, back to horror. Let's talk about things that I'm excited for. So I love the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. I don't even mind the sequels that much. Like I think they're as schlocky as direct to DVD sequels can be. Um, but I'm actually really excited for this because I love Scream, and this one was probably the best and most famous of the Scream knockoffs. I also I just love Freddie Prinze Jr. like as a person, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, and so I love it whenever he's talking because he was Kanan in Star Wars, and so you get him talking about Star Wars, and he's not as knowledgeable as Filoni or Whitwer, but he definitely learned a lot from them in his time with Rebels, and so I love listening to him talk about Star Wars. I my favorite video is still whenever his future wife Sarah Michelle Gellar is talking about how deep Scooby Doo is as far as like it's not a boy cartoon, a girl cartoon. It's for everybody, and it's everyone's being their own hero. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. is like, it's a talking dog. You know what I mean? like this man is he is he is Fred. He has the mind of a tadpole and the body of a fridge.
So I have seen the first of these movies. I did not like the first one because the killer started killing other people, and I was like, okay, never mind. Because like to me, like once he started killing other people other than the people that hit him with the car, that's what I was like, okay, they're going off the script for me. So that's why I didn't like the first one. It's been like, when did that come out? Like well over 20 years ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well. Oh, almost. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Almost 30 years ago. Now I think about it.
Yeah. So it's been a long time since I've seen it. The other thing is this has done the cinema sin, just like the last movie, of having the same title as another movie and not being a remake. They've got to stop doing this.
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
The requel.
Yeah.
So yeah, regardless, I am excited about it just because I need some stupid stuff. Like I love thinking when I watch movies. Sometimes I need something like this.
The old brain.
Yeah. And then I love that Jennifer Love Hewitt's back too. So yeah, I'm excited for this.
What's
next? Happy Gilmore 2.
I go back and forth on this movie. Is this movie actually going to be good? Is it just going to be a crappy Adam Sandler movie? I don't know.
Here's the thing. I need it to be. Here's the thing. Is this going to be a crappy Adam Sandler movie? I don't know, but I do need this to be an Adam Sandler movie. that is important because Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison. I mean, they are Adam Sandler through and through, and so if this is to the quality of uh, Grown Ups, I think we've won. Because I like Grown Ups, and I mean it's gonna be hard to mess this up just because. I mean, even if this is even if this does the CinemaSin of being a sequel to a comedy, and then they just do the same jokes over and over again, I'm cool with that. I love those jokes. Do them again.
So what do you think the plot is? Like I know that he's trying to raise money for his daughter to go to ballerina school or whatever. But my question is Julie Bowen's character dead? No, she's in the trailer. The girlfriend from the first one.
Yeah.
I think that she died and left him to raise these 8 kids or however many kids they have. They have a bunch of them. They're all boys, so for the one girl, let's go to ballerina school. Because she is in the trailer, but I think that's his happy place.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Because other than that, she's not in the trailer a whole lot.
You know what's really funny? We're speculating about what the plot could be the same way we were speculating about Superman.
We're speculating more.
It's like, what is the plot to Happy Gilmore 2? We can't judge it because we don't know what it's about.
But I think
Shooter McGavin is just walking places.
I think maybe that's the movie that she died, and that's why he quit playing golf.
Yeah,
and now he has to come back.
I gotta be honest. That is actually the reason why I'm more excited for this than I may normally be about another Adam Sandler movie. Is I love Christopher McDonald.
Oh yeah,
and and I am so excited for more Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, and they've other than that one scene, they've largely kept him out of the trailers.
Yeah,
smart, and it looks like they're redoing a lot of the jokes. But I think if this movie has a lot of heart, like my theory about what the plot is, I think this will probably be really good.
Yeah, so
that's where I'm at right now. It could be god awful.
And even if it is, I'm still gonna watch because for those who don't know, this is one of my mom's favorite movies. She famously first saw it when she was pregnant with me. And they were living with Nana and Papa at the time. She was by herself in their room while she was watching this. And she's like, Matt, get in here, I'm gonna pee, or something like that. I don't know. And so that's when my dad watched the movie. So this is whenever people didn't go to movie theaters, and they just watched things on VHS from Blockbuster.
And now you can watch it on Netflix.
Yep. All right, this one. This is. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be insane.
Have you seen the trailers?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so as the poster says, last night at 2:17 a.m., every child from Miss Grandy's class woke up, got out of bed, went downstairs, opened the front door, walked into the dark, and they never came back. It's freaky. The trailer is crazy.
And the thing is what we just said. What's on that is the trailer. That's it.
Yeah, other than the what's his name? Josh Brolin?
Yeah.
That's the one, right? Yeah. He is one of the parents, and they're like, what happened to our kids? Why is it only this class? Did the teacher do something to them? And we don't know. That's it. We don't know what's going on in the trailer, but it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. Yep. It is. It's super exciting, and the person who plays the teacher, Julia Gardner, I can't think of anything that I've explicitly seen her in a meaningful way.
She is playing the female Silver Surfer.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
And Han Solo is in this movie. Young Han Solo.
Yeah. So, and just the footage of the way the kids are like Naruto running out into the darkness. God. Maybe they're going to was it Area 51 or whatever?
Yeah.
That's what's going on there.
It'll be,
The assault has begun.
it's definitely going to be something like this. Oh, this is interesting. So originally, Josh Brolin's character was going to be Pedro Pascal, but Pedro Pascal dropped out because of Fantastic Four, and then Josh Brolin took his place. But then Julia Gardner is also in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, get together, Pedro.
Yeah, I mean that just tells me that Silver Surfer is barely going to be in that movie.
Yeah, or it's all just voiceover work, and it was all special effects or
Yeah.
something.
Oh my God, Benedict Wong's going to be in it.
Yeah, he's like the principal or something.
I love Wong. Yeah, this looks insane.
Yeah, this is one of those horror movies where I'm like, okay, I might be tempted to check this one out. It's pretty cool. So, and that's all we could say because we don't know anything else about this movie.
Yeah.
Other than they claim it's a true story, which of course that's bollocks. But
Yeah, this is like maybe this will be like the new Blair Witch. Who knows?
Yeah.
All right. So this one's gonna be all you.
I'm a huge fan of the Naked Gun trilogy, and a lot of people don't know that Leslie Nielsen used to be a very serious actor before he started doing those movies. So I think Liam Neeson is a good choice for this to remake this, and I think Pamela Anderson playing the girlfriend is really smart too, because Priscilla Presley was the girlfriend in the original. So it depends on the trailer's really funny.
Yes.
The OJ joke in the trailer is very, very funny, but that's all we've seen. Apparently, there is a longer trailer that's been shown at some different events. My biggest issue is that the Zucker brothers are not involved in this, and it is the Family Guy writers. So I'm kind of like, Seth MacFarlane is writing it. So
I will say one thing. I think Liam Neeson was the best part of that Western.
Yeah. So I don't know. Yes, the Naked Gun writers and the airplane and all that, they would do the jokes that push the line. But there was something about the way they did. There was some restraint there. Even though they would jump over the line, they would always bring it back. And there was always, I don't know, there's just something about the way the Zucker brothers do it that no one else could do it. And so I don't know if Seth MacFarlane can pull it off or not. Like, I feel like he's just going to go way too far.
You know what? Here's the thing. Recently, I have had more respect for Seth MacFarlane, because like him moving away from Family Guy has been really cool. Because I love the Ted movies, and the Ted show was really funny too. I've never seen the Orville. But I know a lot of Star Trek fans who say the Orville is better than Star Trek at this point.
I really liked Orville. I was watching it with my youngest son, and then we got to an episode that was so inappropriate that I had to turn it off, and I haven't been back since.
Gotcha.
That's my worry, is that he doesn't know. Sometimes he doesn't know where the line is. And not saying that, like I said, Naked Gun and them, they would do the crude jokes, but they always would reel it back in then. And I just think that he's going to take it too far.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. This could be like, great. One thing I'll say is the music was completely wrong in the trailer. So that's concerning if they got the music wrong in the trailer. Although I think that was kind of to keep us surprised that it was going to be Naked Gun.
Yeah, that's the thing is I think part of the funny, the part of you know what? I'll disagree with you about the music. I'm going to disagree, because that whole first half of the trailer is the point. Like I think it's made
correct. Yeah,
I think it's made funnier.
Yeah.
Because of that. So like if you took out that song, I don't think the trailer would be as funny because it's. I mean, like you think it's gonna be like a Bad Boys movie or something.
Yeah, so I'm just saying if it has that type of music the whole movie, then then that's a miss. But I
Yeah.
don't if that's just the opening scene and then it's da 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 da, the music kicks in and everything.
Yeah. I do think that so the OJ joke is funny. I think the funniest part is actually how everybody is a legacy hire. And so everybody's crying at their dad's picture.
Yeah.
Like that's really funny. Like that seems like a joke Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, it's a good joke. And the one of the things that Leslie Nielsen kind of forgot in the later movies, or at least the directors did, and maybe him too, was, oh, we'll just have Leslie Nielsen be funny. And that's when Leslie Nielsen doesn't work. You have to make Leslie Nielsen be serious in a comedy movie, and then it's funny. So if Liam Neeson can stay serious the whole movie with all this absurd stuff going around him, then I think it'll work.
Yeah. Honestly, do you know what this needs to be? This needs to be like I need this to be kind of like the other guys. You know?
Yeah, I could see a little bit of that.
Like
Yeah.
like the other guys, but if it was about Sam Jackson and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, and then it ended with Aim for the Bushes. Yeah.
The funniest joke in any movie ever.
Aim for the bushes. There goes my hero. Oh man. All right. Let's see. Okay. So, did you ever see the first Nobody?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you?
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think with Nobody, that's whenever this kind of became its own genre, because you have the John Wick movies, and the rule of it is the first one is an innovation, the second one is a ripoff, the third one it's a genre. You know, that's what it was like with Doom. You know, like you had Doom, and then it's like, oh, this is just a Doom clone, and now we just have the first-person shooter genre.
I think this was really smart to take this in how do we make this different from a John Wick movie? Oh, let's make it a National Lampoon movie with Nobody.
Yes. Yes. So I am very excited for this. I know a lot of people are going to be excited about Christopher Lloyd.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fun. For me, you got RZA with a katana, and it looks amazing. So I'm excited for this. This is another one of those that's like, dude, just give me something fun that I can like shut my brain off and have a good time, you know?
Yeah.
So I am definitely super excited for this, and I am glad that I'm, because like with a character like Saul Goodman, that is a that's a career-ending character, and by that I mean that is a character that is so good and so iconic that you will never get any other work again.
Right. You'll be stereotyped as them forever. Yeah.
So I am glad that Bob Odenkirk is still getting work after Better Call Saul.
And that he's an action star. It's so
That is
weird.
Right. He was what was that show with David Cross?
Oh shoot,
The Mr. Men show?
Was it
No,
Mr. Show?
Mr. Show, that's what it was.
Yeah. And it's kind of like what Bruce Willis did, because Bruce Willis was a comedy guy, and then he went up to action movies. So I mean, it's been done, but it's been a long time since someone really pulled it
which is funny because we were just talking about how Leslie Nielsen was like this dramatic actor who went to comedy, and now we got Liam Neeson who's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, super excited for this. Dog, I remember the movie theater experience. It was the bus scene. The bus scene changed my view of Bob Odenkirk. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, if you've never seen the original Nobody, go watch it. Especially if you like John Wick, go
Mhm.
watch it.
Yep. And I think the coolest thing is like, so we have like this we, all of these John Wick style movies have such a vague explanation of what their organizations are that you can just pretend they're all working for the same organization and it works.
Yeah, you could perfectly fit this in the same universe, and it fits.
like this, John Wick, Bullet Train, like they all work for that organization. Like that's my headcanon.
Yep. Works for
Um
me.
so this one. This is a movie that I have been waiting about 20 years for. So are you familiar with The Long Walk other than the trailer, or have you seen the trailer?
I've seen the trailer. I saw a YouTube Stephen King YouTube channel. They were posting a lot of videos about the Long Walk like last year, and I never did bother watching them. So that's about all I knew until I saw the trailer, and I was like, oh, this is like Hunger Games but with walking,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
or Death Race 2000 or something like that. Yeah.
A little bit, a little bit. So yeah, I mean, the trailer does a really good job of just kind of pitching the movie. Um, the thing is, and I'll go ahead and let people know, because it may be a little jarring. Um, this is at least it shouldn't be. It might be, but it shouldn't be as much of a Hunger Games thing as it's made out to be. I realize that it's the Hunger Games director. I get it. This is a psychological movie, more than anything, because it really should just be kids walking at 3 miles an hour for the whole movie. um, and nothing else. It should just be them talking and either trying to get in each other's heads, um, trying having to deal with hallucinations and whatnot. This is like I said, this is a movie I've been waiting 20 years for because as a kid, we lived up in Jersey. We came down to Kentucky a lot, so that's 14 hours one way. And as a kid, I've talked to my dad about, his favorite books and whatnot. He'd pitch me his book ideas. And one time he talked about The Long Walk, and eventually I would go on to read The Long Walk when I was probably like 13 or 14. And this is actually a Bachman book.
Right.
Richard Bachman, I think he did 4 books under the pseudonym Richard Bachman that he said were too intense to even put his name on it.
Mhm.
So honestly, I kind of wish that this poster said from legendary author Richard Bachman, and
That'd
then
be
nobody,
funny.
yeah, and then nobody would know who that is. um, so, but I just remember my dad telling me this, and I mean, this was even before Hunger Games was written because I was 8 years old,
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, this is this is something because like even he ended up telling me the ending when I'm 8 years old, and the ending is the most Stephen King has ever been.
Of course.
So I am super excited for this, and Mark Hamill looks amazing in this movie.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's been in a lot of movies this year. All of a sudden, it's
Yeah.
weird.
And it's I don't know, that's another thing where I'm like, sure this is Luke Skywalker, but like I'm glad he's branching out.
Yeah, yeah.
Do something else, man. But I'm super excited for this. It's a good year for me as a Stephen King and a horror movie fan. So okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I need to say something. I'm gonna leave this up to you because I need to establish. I've never seen Spinal Tap.
Oh, that hurts. But we'll add it to the list. You will, by the end of the year, you will see Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap is famously a mockumentary by Christopher Guest, who has done some other great mockumentaries like Best in Show, Waiting for Guffman. This is about when did this come out? Was this the 80s or 70s? About one of those hair metal bands, and just everything about the movie is just funny. They sell an album that is all black. Like there's no writing on it at all, so nobody knows who the band is or anything because the
That's really
album
funny.
is just completely black.
That's really funny. For those who don't know, the Beatles famously released an album that was just all white. It didn't even say the Beatles on it.
Yeah. So I mean, there's jokes like that. It's just very funny, and about how a band kind of falls apart. I think like a girl comes between the group, like what happened with the Beatles and stuff. And so the fact that they are bringing back the original cast and everything for a sequel, we still haven't really gotten a trailer yet. So, but there's an actual album, and they actually perform Spinal Tap. Like they'll have concerts and stuff, which is really funny. So, yeah, this could be amazing, or it could be something that's like, oh, why did y'all do this?
So what we're gonna do, because if by the end of this year I'm gonna see Spinal Tap, by the end of this year you're gonna see Popstar.
Popstar. What's Popstar?
Popstar is the Lonely Island movie. That's the mockumentary.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'll watch that. Sure.
So that I think that could be a double feature show.
Yeah,
because
documentaries.
they're kind of the same movie in a way. So
The Roodles for the Love of Money or whatever it was
Yeah.
called.
yeah.
Throw them all in there.
All right. Let's crank it up to 11 again. Okay. So the one scene that I have seen of Spinal Tap is whenever he's trying to explain 11, and that's really funny.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, why don't you just make it louder and go to?" But this one goes up to 11.
It's 11. It's more. It's 11.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a weird one. So here's the thing. I am 100% on board with this movie. I'm super excited. And even if this movie is bad, we still come out on top. And let me tell you why. Because regardless of the quality of this Tron movie, whatever it is, we still get a banger of a Nine Inch Nails album.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've been paid attention to the news, but I'm sure Disney's freaking out over this one right now because Jared Leto's been accused of some stuff right now, and that could sink this movie. So.
That doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't surprise me at all, but I'm just saying that's in the news, and I don't know how much traction that's going to have. But it could kill this movie. The other thing is, this movie looks cool, really hyped for it, but it also kind of reminds me of the plot of Pixels.
It does, yeah, kind of. Yeah, this I mean, this will be a one that I see just because Tron is a property. It's one of the only Disney properties that I actually am a fan of and that I like. So and by that I mean like an original Disney property. Like I really don't count Star Wars as a Disney property because they didn't do the word. Like Marvel's not a Disney property.
No.
Tron is a Disney property. I'll give this to them. I love Tron. I love Tron Legacy. I love Tron Uprising. I love like all the video games. They've expanded the universe in a way. So
yeah. So we'll go ahead and just plan it now on the show. End of September, we'll do a Tron episode because I've seen the first Tron when I was a kid. I barely remember it, and I haven't seen the second one.
Okay.
So we'll do it. We'll watch some Tron and maybe some of the cartoon. We'll see.
Yeah. Do you know who's in the cartoon?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Main character's voiced by Elijah Wood.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, regardless of the quality, just like Tron Legacy, we got a banger of a Daft Punk album. We're getting a banger of a Nine Inch Nails album right here.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. All right. Okay. Another horror movie. It's
Yeah.
a good year for me. Have you seen Black Phone?
I have not. I may be seeing it very soon, though. My wife has expressed interest in watching it, so I'm probably watching it soon.
So I'll go ahead and let you know that it's not scary. So this is so it's Scott Derrickson, who did Sinister, also did the first Doctor Strange movie. It is written by Stephen King's son, Joe King.
You're joking. Good night, everyone.
Okay. But yes, Joseph King is
You know he did that on purpose.
I know. So I mean this is a great movie, and you could have told me that this was a Stephen King story, and I would believe you as well, because like it feels so much like old school 70s and 80s Stephen King.
Yeah.
And so I only heard about them doing. I didn't know they were doing Black Phone 2. I heard about it when they released this poster on Cinemark like 2 weeks ago.
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes.
Okay.
I am so excited. I
was getting Nightmare on Elm Street vibes from the trailer, where like stuff's happening to her, then it's happening to her in real life, and like
yes,
dream and stuff.
And that's the interesting thing. So that's not the first movie at all.
Right. No, I know.
So I do think that you're gonna enjoy Black Phone. As far as horror movies go, I do think it's more up your alley. But yeah, I'm so excited for this, and I love Ethan Hawke, and I'm glad that we're getting more of him, because I feel like there was it's almost like Ethan Hawke is having his Kevin Costner moment, where like Kevin Costner was everywhere when I was a kid, and then he was nowhere, and then for Kevin Costner, Superman comes out, and then he's everywhere again.
Yeah, he's kind of having this Hugh Grant renaissance.
Hugh Grant renaissance. Yeah, I like that. And I still think, say what you will about Moon Knight, he was great in Moon Knight.
Oh yeah, he was in Moon Knight, wasn't he? Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like he should be a bigger star than he is. He's one of those actors where I'm like, oh, why isn't he a bigger star? Yeah.
How weird is it that his daughter's bigger than him?
Yeah. It's strange.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah.
I can't. Here's the thing. We don't have an official poster for this movie yet. That is so weird to me.
We don't have anything other than the picture of him that we don't have nothing.
Yeah. So Uncaged Fury, I'm very excited for this movie from the creators of Rebel Without a Cage and Ninja Mime. So here's the thing. I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. I'm such a big Mortal Kombat fan that I've shown zero interest in Mortal Kombat 1. And Johnny Cage is actually as a former professional fighting game player, Johnny Cage has always been my favorite fighting game character. And so Carl Urban is a weird choice, but I can also see it.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for that. I'm curious what this is going to entail, because for the most part, the majority of what we know about this movie is Johnny Cage. But they have that original character for the movie, that guy Cole.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm like, yeah, is he still the main character or?
I really like you. I like the Mortal Kombat series. I like the stories. I love the original '90s movie. I did not care for the last movie. It did have some good fights. It had the actor I really liked that played Scorpion.
Yep.
But
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you he's in John Wick 4.
Okay.
Yeah, with Donnie Yen, it's awesome.
All right. We'll get to that later this week. But yeah, other than them putting fatalities in it, the Mortal Kombat reboot movie did not do much for me.
So I'm gonna say one thing. It has my favorite line or my favorite dumb line in any movie that I still quote to this day, which is when when Kabbalah says, "You hear that? He's about to get his soul sucked."
That's what was so funny is with Cabal's voice. There's
Cabal. I mean, here's the thing. Cabal is one of my other favorite characters, and they got him so wrong, and it's so funny.
there is a spoof of Five Nights at Freddy's. I cannot remember what it's called, but the purple guy talks like that. He's like, "Hey, old sport, it's Dave," and that's all I could hear was the purple man. It took me completely out of the movie. So yeah,
But yeah, I think it's weird that this movie comes out in less than like 4 or 5 months, and we have nothing. It's like, does this movie even exist?
yeah. I'm sure about 2 months out we'll start getting trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is weird. You think they would have announced something when they announced the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection or something last week? That, oh, by the way, there's a Mortal Kombat movie
Yeah.
coming out too, or something. Or,
Yep. Yeah, this is it right here. It's Billy Butcher that convinced me of his Johnny Cage.
from The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm excited for this, but I also have no idea.
No, it's not Willy's Wonderland. It was a game. 5 day. I think it was 5 days at Freddy's or something. I don't know. They played it a few times on GT Live. Is how I knew about it, and they had to quit playing it because it got so dirty. But we start making Pat blush. It's like, all right.
All right,
good old
let's see.
days. All right.
So I'm gonna let you take point on this because I still kind of don't get it.
So Begonia, it is Emma Stone and was it Jesse Plemons?
Jesse Plemons.
Yeah, let me pull it up on Wikipedia because I've already forgotten the plot. I'm getting old.
So Jesse Plemons, for those who don't know, he was Todd in Breaking Bad. He is Robert. So, I can't remember his name. He's like the main bad guy for the USS Callister episodes of Black Mirror. He is known by his nickname Meth Damon, which I think is really funny.
So this is a remake of a South Korean movie called Save the Green Planet, where a deranged guy kidnaps a businessman convinced that he's an alien and starts torturing him. Convinced that everything's a conspiracy, everything's an alien stuff, and it just gets more and more brutal and out of control, and he starts killing people and stuff, and it just spirals out of control. And I was just reading the plot of the South Korean movie on Wikipedia, and it just sounded crazy. So if they keep that same plot, I think this one could be interesting. You still there?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
I was like, oh no, he left. Oh no.
No. I'm still here. Like I don't like I read the Wikipedia, and like it's so weird that like I'm like, okay, I don't really get what's going on.
Exactly.
So like it's weird. I don't have a whole lot to say because I don't understand it.
Yeah, go read the plot of Save the Green Planet on Wikipedia if anybody's curious. And I'm wondering if it's just going to be very lightly based on it, or if they're really going to go there. If they really go there, this could be an interesting movie. So, but just the derangement and the torture and just them killing other people and it's spiraling out of control as the police get involved and everything. Yeah. So let's put this one on your radar. This one might be one of those ones that surprises people, or maybe it'll be unnoticed and terrible. I don't know. It's a little
All
too
right.
early. When we get to these ones towards the end of the year, we don't have trailers or anything, so it's a little hard to say. So
Yeah.
all right, what's next?
Predator Badlands. So here's the thing. This is one that I don't get because I think this movie looks awesome, but everyone else that I've seen says this movie looks like crap, and like this is one where I'm just like, okay, this might be like, is this a taste thing? Do people see something that I don't, or am I seeing
I
something
don't
that
think
people?
people like the design of the main predator in this, but I think he's supposed to be a runt. I think he's supposed to
Yeah,
look weird.
yeah. I also wonder if people. So my favorite Predator movie is actually the third one, Predators. I love that one, and so this looks very much like Predators. I wonder if people aren't ready to accept that. I'm sorry, Predator's a sci-fi movie, okay? um,
Yeah,
so
I think that with Prey and with the animated one that just came out, I think it's in good hands. I think the franchise is in really good hands right now. So
yeah,
I'm willing to let them. Okay, let's go tell a story on the Predator homeworld. Let's really go
yeah,
there and see what we get.
yeah. Which it's really funny considering who who has been given the Predator franchise is Dan Trachtenberg. Whenever he had the chance to do Mortal Kombat like 15 years ago, and that was taken away from him.
It's really weird that Disney is giving us good Predator movies. I don't know.
Yeah. um, no, I mean it's funny. Do you remember Mortal Kombat Rebirth?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
the web series.
No, not the web series. That was Mortal Kombat Legacy. He did do that as well, but I'm talking about Mortal Kombat Rebirth, the one where like Baraka was a surgeon and
Maybe
Reptile.
not. Maybe I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember that where yeah, Baraka was a surgeon who like surgically attached blades to his arms, and Jerry Ryan and Michael J. White were Sonya uh, and Jax, and they were uh, they were talking to their prisoner in Metro City, Hanzo Hasashi, and you don't remember this at all?
It's kind of ringing a bell, but a lot of those Mortal Kombat live action things run together in my head, so I'd
Okay.
have to revisit it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, like this one always sticks out to me just because it's so different from Mortal Kombat.
That's not the one where they are doing where Raiden's in the crazy place and they're doing the lobotomy on him and stuff.
No, that is what eventually came of Mortal Kombat Rebirth, but that is not the original pitch. Because the original pitch for Mortal Kombat Rebirth was going to be a completely realistic version of, and it's one of those that's like maybe it wouldn't have been good, but it's at least interesting. Like Raiden wasn't going to be the God of Thunder, like he was just going to be an underground fighter who uses tasers. Uh, none of this is ringing a bell.
I'm just remembering the one with the one I'm describing about the lobotomy and stuff. And all
Okay.
that. And I
Okay.
don't think
Yeah.
I even saw all of that. I saw some of it, and then for a reason I
Like
didn't finish it.
like Reptile had a skin condition and he was a serial killer who kept people's heads in
That
his
sounds a little
fridge.
familiar.
Yeah. Okay.
Baraka was he had that condition that some babies get. I can't remember what it was.
No, that was Reptile though.
Was that Reptile I'm getting
No.
mixed up with?
Yep.
Okay,
Mhm.
so I have.
Okay.
Okay. I'm there. I'm just like I said, it's been a long time since I've revisited
Yeah.
that. So it's
Yeah. But no,
and
yeah,
Mortal Kombat has changed its lore 1,000 times, so they all kind of run together after a while. So.
it's changed 1,000 times in the past 5 years.
Yeah. Recently, the last 3 games, they've changed the lore over
Yeah.
or 4 games. Yeah, over and over and over.
But yeah, so the same person who kind of was holding Mortal Kombat's film and TV is now the one doing Predator. So like, I think it's a match made in heaven. I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
all right. So I want to establish. There's not even a poster for this. This is a fan made poster. I just really liked it.
hmm
Um,
And this was also when Stephen King was writing under the pseudonym, right?
no,
It wasn't.
no. This Running Man was just. I'm pretty sure it was just. I'm gonna look this up. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
I'm about to call shenanigans. Hold on.
No, you're right. You're right. You got me.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
this is a Bachman book. You got me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this. I'm very excited for this. Just because I love Running Man. It's Edgar Wright doing it, and
Yeah.
it's Glenn Powell.
Yeah. The original Running Man's a guilty pleasure of mine. It's one of those movies that's 80s cheese with Arnold Schwarzenegger and was it Richard Dawson?
Yep.
And but that movie doesn't follow the plot of the book, so I don't know what this is going to be. Is it going to be closer to the book? I would imagine. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very curious about this one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was Soho the last Edgar Wright movie that we got? I don't remember.
I feel like it was.
I'm looking at it right now. Did you ever see Last Night in Soho?
No, but you've told me to. It's on my list.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've just been really busy lately. Haven't had time to watch stuff. So
It is. It is his last. So he has not had a movie since 2021. So this will be this will be interesting. I'm definitely excited for this, and I love Glenn Powell. I think. So here's the thing. Someone once said that we don't have movie stars anymore. Like the last great movie star right now is Tom Cruise, and then by that I mean like at this point people go see franchises, they don't go see actors, right?
yeah,
And so like right now I think there's a Tom Cruise movie, go watch it. You're bound to have a good time. I think Keanu Reeves is kind of coming back as one of those. Glenn Powell is becoming like maybe the first in a new breed of movie stars.
yeah. I might put DiCaprio in that boat, but yeah, it's very few actors that get people to go see movies. So.
Yeah. And funny enough, Glenn Powell. Now I've been a fan of Glenn Powell since Scream Queens. So that was in like 2015, but I think he got his like real big break, ironically, with Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
And he was in Hitman, which is a great movie. I liked Anyone But You. I didn't watch it for him. I watched it for her. And I didn't see Twisters, but I'm sure he's
pretty good.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great in it.
Yeah, he's the best part of the movie. Yeah.
And I still think that this is my Booster Gold.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, this is my Booster Gold. So,
Yep.
all right. I love Now You See Me.
My wife loves these movies too. I was okay with the first one until someone pointed out to me how stupid it was, and then I can't see past the stupidity.
Oh, I love how stupid it is.
And then the second one, that scene where they're throwing the card around was so dumb.
I love how stupid it is. It's great. No, so I've been a huge fan of these movies. I love them. Funny enough, for some reason, the Now You See Me movies have been on like TBS and TNT and True TV a lot the past couple months.
Yeah.
Every time that one of them is on, I will sit down and watch them. I've seen these so many times in the past 3 months.
Somebody pointed out to me how little the Mark Ruffalo character makes sense. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Oh, you mean the fact that like he's acting for nobody?
Yeah, yeah. He's
Yeah.
had these conversations just for the audience and stuff, just to throw off the audience and doing stuff. It's like, what?
That's fine. I mean, like, I could say the same thing about Andrea Beaumont in Mask of the Phantasm, but that's still a great movie.
All right. And then Woody Harrelson's hypnotism and all that. Okay.
He's a wizard, man. No,
Apparently.
one of my favorite YouTube videos is I think it's just called "So the guys in How You See Me are just wizards," right?
Yeah, I think you showed me that. Yeah.
I love that video. But the thing is, it's still one of my favorite film series. It's like the only it's one of the only movies that I can stand Jesse Eisenberg in. Because like I get it, and I love Dave Franco. I'm so excited that Isla Fisher is back because I missed her in the second one. And I love that Justice Smith is going to be in this one. Do you remember Justice Smith?
Yeah, yeah, I like him.
Yeah,
The guy from Dungeons and Dragons and
Detective
all that stuff.
Pikachu.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
I think this reminds me like of the TV series Scorpions, where they're like they were so smart, there was nothing they couldn't do, and there's something about just irked me. And I feel like this is kind of the same thing. Where it's like they're so magical and illusionist, there's nothing they can't do, and there's just something.
well,
It
that's
like
all.
it just jumps past that line where I'm like, okay, this is just getting annoying now.
Well, it's not just that. Like, I mean, I mean, these are. It's less about the magic, although I love the magic and I love street magic. It's also like, I mean, these are classic heist movies, you know.
Yeah, but
The
heist movies have to make sense. These don't make sense.
Ocean's 11 is it kind of makes sense, but only kinda. Um, I don't know. Maybe not classic heist. These are modern heist movies, and I love modern heist movies.
All right. I
uh,
like doubling the cast. I'm just like, okay.
Doubling the okay. So the fact that we have not only are we bringing back Isla Fisher for our four piece, we're getting rid of Mark Ruffalo, which is unfortunate because this is one of the few Mark Ruffalo performances I actually like.
Well, as far as we know, they got rid of Mark Ruffalo. He can still be in the movie. We just don't know it.
Yeah. And then we're also adding 3 new players to the Horsemen.
Yeah.
It definitely is like, okay, we have now doubled the team. This is like if we went from Ocean's 11 to Ocean's 22.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, like, so if I were to have like, all right, let me get on my Now You See Me soapbox. Excuse me. I didn't like how they made Morgan Freeman a good guy at the end of the
Yeah.
like I think the coolest thing about that first movie is like leaving Morgan Freeman in prison to wonder why for the rest of his life. Like he's this big smug guy who can figure anything out, but he can't figure out why Mark Ruffalo did this.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you're on my side. All right. There.
Yeah.
You're just more forgiving of it. Zootopia 2. I don't remember the first one. I know I've seen it.
Really?
I don't remember it.
So I watched Zootopia on a whim. There is a Twitch streamer and YouTuber named Arch and Gaia the Lore Runner, who I love watching. And he does these things called ruminations, not really reviews. He calls them ruminations. And so there was and so he does mainly requests. He's spoken on at this point. He loves what he does, but it also is kind of his job, and it is 100% of what he does. So like he does not consume anything unless it is for stream, unless it is for work. So like as of right now, 2025, he just got around to Mandalorian season 1. He does not do anything unless it is for the stream. And so one time, maybe about 6-7 years ago, a request came in, and the request was, you pay the Patreon, you can give your request. Someone requested, you pick something, and so he picked Zootopia, and I'm like, okay. And I listened to him talk about Zootopia, and I'm like, well, before I get into spoilers, I'm going to turn this off because he picked this for a reason. I watched it, and I'm like, okay, this is really good. I really like this. And I tend to not like Disney movies because I wasn't a Disney kid.
Yeah, it just. I mean, I remember the gist of it, but it just for whatever reason did not stick with me. So I remember liking it. I don't know. I'm
I
getting
also,
old, Caleb. I'm
yeah, I
getting to the
know,
point where I don't, unless I watch something over and over, I don't
I
retain
know,
it.
I know. I love Jason Bateman. He's amazing in this movie, or in the original movie, because he
And
played the fox.
this is one of those things that the internet ruins everything. Where it's like you start getting the furry territory, and it probably just ruins everything.
Yeah. That's fine, like I don't make my way over there. I don't make that far into Reddit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
That's not my scene.
Yeah, it's just this movie has a reputation for that.
Oh
Or
yeah, I
something,
know.
So
Well, I'm familiar with Beastars.
yeah, well, never mind. All right, not me, but yeah, I do know what Beastars is.
Yeah. Wake Up Dead Man. I'm
Why do you
excited.
keep making me watch these trailers? I don't care about Knives Out, Caleb.
I love Knives Out. I love Knives Out. I love Glass Onion. I'm so excited for this. What is going on with Daniel Craig's hair in this movie?
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, this is just, you could make, like, I guess to me this is like my Sherlock. Like, I didn't watch Sherlock. I don't care about Sherlock. Like, I saw the show and it sucks and it's a disgrace to Sherlock Holmes. You could make 20 or 30 of these. I will watch every single one of them.
They do remind me of, Columbo was really big in the '80s, and they would do like the Columbo mystery movie or whatever, and that always these big stars would want to be on Columbo. So if
Yeah.
you took all these big stars wanting to be in one mystery movie, that's kind of what we're getting now. These mystery movies. I some movies they get overhyped, and when I finally see them, I'm like, eh. And that's how I felt about the first one. And I just have had no interest in the other two. And it seems like every time we do one of these shows, one of these always ends up on the list somehow. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not again. I thought we got past this. No.
Yep. Well, I'm excited for it. I think that this is once again, now that he's done with James Bond, I mean, I'm glad that Daniel Craig has Benoit Blanc to fall back on.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. And all right. So two more. This is the penultimate. FNAF 2. What's weird? I actually I still haven't seen the first one.
It's all right. It's not quite what I expected. Like they made there's a huge chunk of that movie feels like it's just a kid playing with animatronics. Like they're becoming his friends and stuff, which I'm like, and then it'll like switch back to the murder, and you're like, okay, it's okay. I'll be honest with you, I was a huge fan of the FNAF franchise, and ever since Matt Pat has retired, it has just kind of killed my interest in FNAF.
You want me to tell you the secret to that?
What is that?
You were never a fan of FNAF?
I was a fan of Matt Pat speculating about FNAF.
Yes.
Probably so. I mean, he would just, he'd come up with all these crazy ideas, and I try to watch some of the other channels, and it's just not the same.
I like John.
John's, FNAF he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I
tried to watch some Rye, and I'm like, Rye's okay. I mean, like, but really, at this point, if I am in a FNAF mood, I'm gonna watch John.
John, Daco's okay at times, and then it's fantasy. Those are kind of the three I'll go to. But yeah, I just,
Um,
I just, I don't know. This latest game, I just have not. The teasers have not
the Secret of
grabbed
the
me
Mimic.
yet. Maybe once the game comes out, I'll be there. But right now, I'm not.
It's sort of like, and keep in mind, like this is the one time where like I I've never experienced, and I feel like that this is it's super weird because I feel like that you kind of do this a lot, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just not something that I normally do. Um, but FNAF is this for me where it's like it's one of those things where like I'm so enthralled with the lore and like I watch all these videos blah blah and then I also have no interest in playing the game.
There are several movie franchises on this list, like Predator, that I've technically never seen a Predator movie. I have seen most of Predator 1, but I know all the lore. I know all about the Predators, but I've never sat down and watched the movies.
Okay, yeah.
I'll
And,
probably watch
and,
the animated one this week, though. But
and that's the weird thing because to me that's a foreign concept, but now that I've gotten into FNAF over the past year and a half, I'm like, I get it, kind
yeah,
of. Because I don't care to ever play this game.
right.
Um,
Yeah, I don't mind watching other people play it,
yeah. Well, no,
but
I mean, even then, I've never seen a playthrough. You know what? No, I take that back. I think I watched a playthrough of Ruin.
okay.
I think I watched. It was either John's or Matt's playthrough of Ruin. I don't remember who.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. The only thing that I'm excited about for this film that I know about is the fact that William Afton is uh, uh, Matthew Lillard. Well, now Henry Emily, who is the other person who's kind of like the founder of like they were a team in the backstory. Uh, Henry Emily is being played by Skeet Ulrich.
That is the rumor, and if so, that is awesome.
It's not a rumor; it was confirmed.
Was it confirmed? Because like when I went on Wikipedia, they're like there are rumors that blah blah blah. So
Oh
I
well,
don't know.
let me check because I thought it was confirmed. But yeah, if it's not confirmed, they need to get on that because uh yeah. Okay, gotcha. Skeet Ulrich as Henry Emily. Better source needed.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of like. Okay, so I don't know. Like it was Daco the source. If it's Daco, then it's true. Daco hangs out with Scott Cawthon. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm the type of guy that if I see a franchise that's really popular, that's been around for a while, and I'm like, why is this popular? And then I like to start finding out about the original source material. And usually, if you go back far enough, you'll see why something is popular. Like, for example, the other day, I watched a video on the Family Circus comic strip that's been around for like 70 years and it's awful. And I'm like, why has this been around for 70 years? And like it's consistently voted like one of the most popular comic strips. And the video is about how that they've been recycling Family Circus jokes for like the last 20 years. They update the art just a little bit, or they'll make it more timely. Like they'll remove the World Trade Center or something in the background, and this or that or whatever. And but they were showing the original year of the comic strip, like the first 5 years, and it was like a totally different comic strip. It was like it had an edge to it and stuff. And now I kind of like want to go back and read that those old Family Circus comic strips, which I never thought I would say ever, you know. But they did like a whole, like it was like a, that was still in the circle format of the Family Circus, but like it was a ongoing story each day for like 3 weeks about them getting a pet turtle when they were kids and about the turtle dying and then having a huge funeral for the turtle and all this stuff. And then they dug up the turtle, like, oh, he's still there. It was like really morbid. Just crazy stuff that I never thought I would see in a Family Circus comic. So I'm kind of, there's part of me that's like tempted to go back and reread those old family circuses, and that's how it is with a lot of movie franchises. Where I'm like, okay, this franchise has been around forever. Why is it so popular? And like if I watch like a modern sequel to it, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. But then if you go back and watch the original, it's like, okay, I get it. So I don't know how I got on that tangent, but here we are.
Yeah, we Scream maybe. I don't
know.
Okay.
It's really hot back here. I think I'm having a heat stroke.
Well, I'm glad you brought up heat because now it's time for our final film, Fire and Ash, Avatar: Fire and Ash. I love the Avatar franchise. I have accepted that I am James Cameron's strongest soldier. And there is no war in Ba Sing Se.
And I say, have at it, Caleb. I'm glad you have a franchise you love. I still have zero desire for this franchise.
Oh man, I don't know. It's just this is like rarely are there ever movies that like I have to see in theaters because I know it's not going to be as good whenever I see it on TV. Or
I think it would be hard for me to get into these movies now at this point, having not seen them in the theater.
Yes, I that might be part of it. Yes, and like also like the advent of home 3D is over. Avatar is meant to be seen in 3D. And I will always advocate for that. And I'm not a 3D advocate. But these movies are meant to be seen in 3D. So not only are you missing the theater experience, you're also missing the big screen experience, but you can't see these in 3D at home anymore.
Right.
So this is it's almost like this is what Scorsese was talking about, where like it's a ride. Ride is not the right word. This is more like this is like a Halley's Comet that comes around every 2 or 3 years, and you have to be there to see it. And once it's gone, you're not going to experience it the way it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, however many he's making. I've lost count.
And I just want them to be over so I get some more Alita Battle Angel.
Well, and hey, I want that too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I wonder how much of that is James Cameron and how much of that is Rodriguez.
I mean, James Cameron's the one that keeps bringing it up. I don't hear Robert Rodriguez talk about it nearly as much as James Cameron does. So I don't know. So that was our look at coming attractions for the year. Are there any movies we missed? I mean, there's obvious ones we left off the list, but some of those I'm pretty excited for. Again, Superman's my big movie of the year. So yeah. We've been the Culture Sharks. We want you to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about this. We're trying to grow the channel. And next week, since Ballerina just came out, we'll be talking about the world of John Wick. I haven't seen 3 and 4, so I'll be watching those this week, and we'll be talking about those.
Yeah. I also think it's fun because it's not necessarily an intentional thing, but so next week will be a pre-recorded show. But it's fun because the reason is because it's Father's Day, and so John Wick is like, here's a movie to watch with your dad. It kind of fits.
Yeah,
because it's a dad movie.
Yeah, and we're actually gonna skip comic books here in 2 weeks. We're kind of just doing a Keanu Reeves month, so we'll be watching the John Wick movies and discussing those. Constantine and Scanner Darkly is the current plan, unless those drop off of streaming. Tends to happen with us. So
I do know that Constantine is going off of Netflix, but that's not until the 30th. So we're going to be good on that one at least.
Okay, cool. So that's what's coming up, and then we'll talk Fantastic Four and Superman when we get into July. But
Yep.
until then, I've been Final Monkey,
And I'm Caleb.
and we'll catch you next time in the deep end.
See ya.